If you're like me, you know, charming, talented, a little portly, but with a nice personality, you'd rather be turning a sweet, sweet bowl or something instead of sharpening your tools. Does that make you lazy? Get it? Lazy. I used to shout some pretty hurtful things at my turning tools. I blamed them for my less than satisfactory results. Imagine how embarrassed I was when I discovered that the real problem was that I just wasn't sharp enough. You see, I got my hands on a Tormek system and their Wood Turner's jig set. Inside the box, I found all kinds of cool stuff, so I set to trying them out on my turning tools to see if they matched all the hype. If you have a couple minutes, I'll give you a rundown. This jig is nothing short of genius. It's one of those designs that look fairly simple, but it can do so much. With just 3 adjustments, you can quickly and accurately sharpen turning gouges, carving gouges, anything of any crazy shape or size, from steep beveled fingernails to fine spoons, even replaceable cutters for turning tools. You can customize the jig according to your tool, then record your settings so the next time you want to sharpen it, you know exactly how to set it up. I can't emphasize enough how important that is, because an even bevel is critical to the tool's performance. There are a lot of ways to sharpen gouges, but this jig is so precise and so consistent from one sharpening to the next that it's by far the best I've ever used. This little bit of genius does the hardest sharpening jobs with more accuracy and repeatability than anything I've ever seen. It's for those tools that just don't work very well with other jigs. Skew chisels with straight or curved edges, parting and beading tools with narrow edges, roughing and carving gouges too wide for other jigs. There are 3 settings that allow you to customize the jig to the tool, and once you dial your tool in, you can record those settings so every time you go back to resharpen it, you're perfectly duplicating the edge. Multi-jig? I suppose that's a good name, but I think difficult to sharpen tools with no fussing or cussing jig would be far better. It's one of those jigs I reach for when I'm already in a bad mood because I know I have to sharpen a tool that I dread. But by the time I'm done, I always walk away feeling like a sharpening master. I like to think that it's my skills, but it's really the jig. Like most of Tormek's jigs, the tool rest does way more than you'd expect. You can sharpen turning scrapers of any shape or size, hollowing tools with those funny little ends, screwdrivers that need regrinding. It'll handle anything with a handle. It'll even make it possible to sharpen cabinet scrapers on the Tormek, or scorps and end shapes. The possibilities are as endless as the giggles when you say the word scorp. What really makes it so versatile is the infinite adjustability of the Tormek bar. I've used tool rests on grinders, but never one you can micro adjust like this. One of the biggest surprises I found inside the box was the profile leather honing wheels. I used to use sandpaper and dowels to remove the burr on the inside of my gouges, but this thing allows me to really polish both sides of an edge. Let me tell you, that made a huge difference for me, especially with my carving tools. I'm talking razor sharp. So I'm already really impressed with this set, and then I find 2 more reasons in the box to justify the purchase. A high quality dust cover to keep my machine nice and clean, and this little box inside the box. It's a DVD and a quick reference handbook with detailed instructions for sharpening just about anything related to turning or carving. The DVD alone is an hour-and-a-half long. You know what that means. Get the family together for a movie night. I've tried a lot of sharpening jigs, and I'm not going to tell you that this is the only way to get a good edge. But after using it for a while, I really think this is the best way, for 3 reasons. First, the jigs make sharpening so precise that each time you resharpen an edge, you're only removing the tiniest fraction of steel. That adds up to a lot faster sharpening and a lot longer tool life. Second, the slow-speed water-cooled stone and leather stropping wheels produce a way sharper edge than a bench grinder, with no chance of overheating. And finally, the virtual sharpening class on DVD has already made me a better turner. So, for that, I award the Tormek Wood Turner's set the coveted designation as one of Stumpy Nubs' favorite things.